a week. Now, if you multiply that by 52, like I said, they're making a little over $80,000 a year. That's at the top pay. On top of that, they're going to get an additional $4 per hour. So they're going to be making at least $43 an hour, which, listen, like I said, I think minimum wage should be $20. Minimally, you should be making $20 an hour. I mean, that's my thoughts on it. So the union agreed to extend the contract it had with the United States Maritime Alliance with the management group known as USMX. That deal, which expired at the end of Monday, will now be extended until January 15th and have the union members back on the job while the final details are worked out in full agreement that they will need to be ratified by the rank and file, everybody. So big shout out to them for standing up to what they believed in, standing up for themselves. Do y'all in your current jobs, if those of you are out there working 9 to 5, have you ever been a part of a strike? I remember when Mercy Hospital here in our city of Buffalo, their workers went on strike. I had a family member that was a part of that strike. And I was like, you know what, you got to do what you got to do. And they did have some provisions, like they went on strike and I think some of their pay was changed, but they still, the union still took care of them. Whether it was gift cards for food, the union still took care of them. Like they missed out on that regular pay, but they weren't without a paycheck. So as they were striking, the union took care of them. Thank you, Yaya Boo, for sharing that live. They took care of them. Do y'all believe that we need to have more unions? You know, unions, that used to be a big thing, like in the 50s and the 60s. They really took care of things within the industries that they were working in. But now it's few and far between. I know that certain Amazon factories have been fighting to get a union. Now, there was one where a young man was able to get a union in that Amazon plant. But what about the other ones? There's a few that are popping up here. There's a new one that's due to open up, I believe, in Niagara Falls. Hey, fella, good morning to you. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. There's a new one that is due to open up in Niagara Falls. But listen, y'all, you know, one of the reasons why the dock workers were fighting, right, is because of automation. So guess what Amazon is planning to do with this factory in Niagara Falls? But they are saying that they are pledging to at least have at least 1,000 workers in that Niagara Falls, but the plant is going to be mostly automated. Amazon is opening up a plant here in this area, in the Western New York area, and it's supposed to be mostly automated. What do you guys think about that? Because we're going to hear more and more of this happening, everybody. We're going to hear more and more of this happening. More and more jobs are going to be outsourced to private companies. I've seen hospitals do this. Some hospitals, they used to have their own laundry. Some of that was outsourced. Think about these mom and pop shops that are disappearing, only for a chain restaurant to come and take its place. There's a Taco Bell that's being built not too far from where I live right now. That's a chain restaurant. But what about that mom and pop shop that's down the street from Taco Bell? I can't remember the name of it. It's out here on South Park or Abbott. It's on Abbott Road, I believe. What about that mom and pop shop? Hey, Maurice, thank you so much for joining this morning. Thank you for getting up with me. Maurice said, that's why I have been teaching the young fellas here to learn how to fix the tech so you'll be employed. Yes, that part. Yaya Boo said, do you remember, I think in the late 80s, they found that container full of babies? No. Oh, speaking of a story. Oh my goodness. A story, I have to pull it up. But I'm gonna put a pin in that one, Yaya Boo, because there's another story that I saw where a U-Haul truck with kids. But Maurice, going back to what you were saying, let me just write that down so I can remember. U-Haul kids. Exactly. I was in Buff State yesterday, and I'm thinking about all these kids walking around me, right? And I'm like, man, you know, they have these dreams and aspirations that I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do my 2, 4, 6, 8 years, and I'm going to be able to get out and make a living. And some people have a dollar amount in their head that they feel as though they're going to make. But with the rise of automation, how true is that going to be? So I feel like Maurice said that learn AI, learn how to fix this technology, because they're still going to need people. I've seen a decrease in IT jobs, y'all. I've seen entire corporations wipe out their IT department and send it overseas because it's cheaper. Because it's cheaper. So as you all are going throughout your day, and some of you that are on this live right now may be thinking about, changing careers, or like I was saying earlier today, becoming an entrepreneur, just remember that we really are going up against technology right now. So some of the skills that we need to be technology based. You need to at least know how to turn on a computer. You need to know how to send emails. You need to know how to use these devices, these phones, to upload things, because that's the way of the world. That's where the world is going right now. How many people actually are faxing items, and the faxes are going to people's personal computers or their phones and stuff? That's the way that the world is going. So I just want to tell everybody that, at least know a little bit about technology. Blaisdell said coding and programming is the new thing. Yeah. I hate that I did not learn that. I was so into it when I was in school. I didn't even know that that was a job. I hate that I did not know that that was a job, that I can actually code and program and do all of that, because I fully enjoyed that C, semicolon, backspace. So I want to go into what Yaya Boo had said about these container full of kids, and going into a story that I saw posted on the Queen Karima's page yesterday. About these people that, let me go to the story. I'm on her page. Yep, here it is. These gentlemen. So Karima Morris, if you guys know, I follow her. She's Bury the Violence Buffalo. Very great organization. She follows missing and exploited teens and people, ex-trafficking, all of that. So she said, guess what, parents? When you kick your child out, they become vulnerable and inaccessible to the element. I'll share my screen so you guys can see what it is that I'm saying. And then go into this story, because this goes into, yes, yeah, boo. It was 2 guys and 2 women. I didn't know about that until I was looking at her page. So let me just share her screen and share this story. She said, according to court documents, Bristow told the trooper that he and Omar were on their way back to Buffalo, New York, after picking up a girl who was being kicked out by her mom in Glendale, Arizona. Yaya Boo was saying they weren't abducted. I was kind of feeling that too, the women, but what was in the trailer was concerning to me. So the trooper said Bristow's breathing was short and rapid as he was answering. He told the trooper Omar rented the U-Haul and they had left New York on September 24th to drive to Arizona. The trooper noticed the 2 women in the passenger seat, who Bristow said were his sister and fiance. The women told the trooper that they went to Arizona to visit family and pick up some stuff. The trooper also noticed that the one young woman, her breathing was kind of rapid as well. According to court documents, the trooper noticed conflicting stories about the trip. 2 men were arrested and charged after 7 children were found in the back of the U-Haul truck on I-44 in Missouri. Now, I don't know what was going on. This happened Sunday around 4:30 p.m. Troopers found 7 children in the cargo of the U-Haul. Their ages range from 2 to 13. According to the court documents, 31-year-old Shaquem Bristow and 22-year-old Musa Omar are charged with 7 counts of first-degree endangering the welfare of a child. Now, my first thoughts is, okay, funds probably weren't all that great, and they needed to move here into the Buffalo area. That was the plan. They were trying to move into the Buffalo area. Now, Ali Yaya said he keeps those kids all the time. He should not have took them with him. Oh, okay. So as I'm reading this story, I'm wondering, Is it a case where this mom didn't have the ability to bring, or the moms didn't have the ability to bring the kids as well as whatever belongings they had into the Buffalo area? So their thought was, okay, we'll just put them in the back of this U-Haul truck. I mean, I can see that happening, especially if your funds are low and you are just trying to get from A to B, or A to Z in this case, because Arizona, that's pretty far. What are y'all thoughts? So Yaya Boo said he keeps those kids all the time. He should not have took them with him, and that they were not abducted. So is it a case, an alleged case of he had these kids, went to do this favor for this young woman, didn't have a vehicle to put them in, so they were in the U-Haul? I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Is it right? I don't know. The court of public opinion may not say it is right, because a lot can happen. There's no seatbelts in the back of these U-Haul trucks. There's nothing like that in the back of these U-Haul trucks. So I don't know. Yeah. I would say that, is endangering the welfare of the child a little extreme? It depends on where you're sitting. Big Mike said he could have flown the kids for free. Possibly. It really depends on where you are sitting, what view you're sitting from. So I want to talk about Dame Dash and this reasonable doubt. Everybody, do y'all know the story of what's going on? So Dame Dash right now, I believe he may be in bankruptcy court, and part of that is his percent in reasonable doubt. So there's a few articles about this. I'm going to go into the one